Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today our lecture will include organophosphorus poisoning. There are many agrochemical compounds which fall in this group. One of them is organophosphorus compounds. As alkyl phosphate, aryl phosphate, then chlorinated compounds as DDT and andrine, then carbamate compounds, then coal tar products, naphthalene, etc., herbicides, paraquat, then metallic compounds, zinc phosphide or aluminium phosphide. These are all agrochemical compounds which can cause poisoning. Now we will see first about the organophosphorus poisoning. Organophosphorus compound consisting of alkyl phosphate and aryl phosphate. Route of absorption: poisoning can occur from inhalation, ingestion, and absorption through unbroken skin. The poisonous effects may be cumulative. Sorry. Its mechanism of action: normally when a nerve impulse passes, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve fibers liberate the acetylcholine at a synapse. The acetylcholine is metabolized by an enzyme, choline esterase, which is present in serum. When organophosphorus compound poisoning occurs, as organophosphorus compounds are powerful inhibitors of choline esterase at the myoneural junctions and synapses of the ganglia. So in its poisoning, the amount of choline esterase is decreased. Acetylcholine is not metabolized properly, so it is accumulated and results in hyperexcitation of the voluntary and involuntary muscles. A drop in the activity of choline esterase to 30% of normal or lower is associated with toxic symptoms. Its sign symptoms: there are some target systems: nervous system, respiratory system, cardiovascular system, and GIT systems are especially affected. Its clinical effects: these effects caused by excess acetylcholine cholinergic syndrome. There are three groups of these clinical effects: muscarinic effects, parasympathetic overactivity, or nicotinic effect, sympathetic overactivity. Then central nervous system effect. In muscarinic effects, respiratory system, there may be bronchospasm, tightness in chest with wheezing, simulating bronchial asthma. Froth at mouth and nose with cyanosis and aspiration. Then GIT, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal cramps. Then heart side bradycardia and hypotension. Then secretory glands, sweat, lacrimal and salivary glands, they show increased secretions. Pupils of eye, meiosis, blurring or dimness of vision. Then urinary bladder, increased micturition. Number 2, nicotinic effects. Skeletal muscles, weakness, cramps and paralysis or respiratory muscles with dyspnea and cyanosis. Sympathetic ganglia, due to this pallor may be seen. Third one, effects are central nervous system effects. There may be irritability and restlessness, then tremors of hands, eyelids, face or tongue, then mental confusion, stupor and muscular weakness with convulsions, and coma with absence of reflexes, and depression of respiratory and cardiac centers. These all symptoms complex, sometimes called SLUD, the prominent symptom being salivation, lacrimation, urination and defecation. The total of its abbreviation is SLUD, SLUD. In some cases, chromogenic tears, red tears, may be shed due to accumulation of porphyrin in the lacrimal glands. If poisoning is severe, pulmonary edema, coma, convulsion, and possibly death may ensue. Death is generally caused by paralysis of musculature but may result from respiratory failure, circulatory arrest, edema of lungs or brains. Its treatment includes 5 steps: decontamination, care of the airway, administration of antidote, administration of choline esterase reactivators, then measures including general measures. First is decontamination. The patient must be removed from the source of exposure and stripped of all clothes. The exposed area are decontaminated by washing with tap water and soap or some alkaline solution. If the poison is ingested, the stomach should be washed with tap water with or without potassium permanganate. The foot end of the bed is raised to ensure drainage of respiratory mucus. It is the second step, care of the airway. The foot end of the bed is raised to ensure drainage of respiratory mucus. Secretion may need to be aspirated and tracheostomy may be necessary. Artificial respiration may be required and positive pressure oxygen should be given if pulmonary edema ensues. Third one step in treatment is antidote. Atropine is antidote and it blocks the peripheral action of the excessive acetylcholine levels build up by the cholinesterase inhibitors. But the central and neuromuscular reactions are unaffected. It is administered in a dose of 2 mg every 15 to 30 minutes, intramuscular or IV, till signs of atropinization. which appear as flushed face, dry mouth, dilated pupil, fast pulse, and warm skin. As much as 12 milligram of atropine has been given safely in the first was. Fourth step is cholinesterase reactivator. The oxime compounds protopan, pralidoxime, chloride, pralidoxime iodide, and PAM, pyridine, aldoxymethioate. These are rapid cholinesterase reactivator and act by dephosphorylating the inactivated choline esterase. They act as specific antidote and should be used to supplement atropine therapy. The dose is 1 to 2 gram IV for adults and 25 to 50 milligram per kg body weight for children, given as 5% solution in isotank saline and repeated every 12 hours if symptoms persist or recur. Final step in treatment is other measures. A diuretic and brisk saline purgative may be useful. Restlessness may be combated by quick acting barbiturate or diazepam. The rest of the treatment is symptomatic. In serious cases, an exchange transfusion may be necessary. Note: the first 4 to 6 are most common in acute poisoning if delayed paralysis resulting from demyelination, and this damage is permanent. Thank you.